Welcome back. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you running Jmeter tests in non-GUI mode. So what is non-GUI mode? Okay. So basically this is GUI where you configure all your tests and you run it from here, right? So at least few resources have been used by this Jmeter tool as well. So when you run your load test, opening this is also occupied some resources by your system. So if you want to run all your test cases in non-GUI mode, that means you can close this Jmeter tool and you can run your test using command prompt. So in this way, the performance of your script will be more accurate as no other tool is opened in your system. Okay, so sometimes it is recommended to run the test in non-GUI mode so that it will give you accurate results without taking consideration of tool resources. However, it's more common that when you open any tool, some resources are allocated to that by your system. Okay, so when you run your Jmeter test, you will get up to most accurate result, but still there are some bytes which may have more data just because the tool is opened in your window. So that's why close that window and try to run your test in command prompt without opening the tool. So that's what I'm going to show you in this lecture. So how much advantage we get by doing this is could be very less, but it's up to you if you want to run like that, because if you want to run these test cases from CI tool called Jenkins, so it's highly recommended to do like that. Okay, because Jenkins need just a command to trigger. It cannot open Jmeter tool on that particular CI platform, right? So in that cases we generally go with this non-GUI mode. Alright, so I'm going to show you the command what you need to pass to run your test cases. Okay, so for that, first go to the bin directory of your Jmeter folder. Okay, so this is where I have downloaded Jmeter, and from inside this you are running your test, right? Isn't it? So you will double click on this and the tool will open and you will start working on there. But so if you actually want to hit a command to run your test cases, come to this path. Okay, so copy this in your system from System Explorer, CD, that will move the directory of where you want to go. Okay, so right now you are in this location. So if you want to run any test, you have to run from this location. That's mandatory. Okay, so if you give this command just like that by opening command prompt, it may not work. And also make sure that you open this command prompt in administrator mode. Okay, it's very simple. From your Windows, when you want to open it in administrative mode, just type CMD in your search box. Okay, and then right click and say run as administrator. Okay, so it varies from OS to OS, but make sure you open this in administrative mode and then navigate to this path. So once you are in this path, then the first word what you need to give here is a Jmeter. When you give this Jmeter, you know what, this will be actually activated, Jmeter-N. If you want to run your test cases in non-GUI mode, then you have to say Jmeter-N. When you give like this, Jmeter treats that as non-GUI mode, and whatever test you want to run, that will run without opening Jmeter tool. Okay, so that's the first letter you need to give. And next, you have to pass the test case, right? So whatever test you create in your Jmeter till last lecture, we are saving it. So have you seen that? Every test we create, we are saving, and all these are getting saved with .jmx extension. Okay, so all the Jmeter scripts will be in this extension JMX, and we are all storing that in this bin folder only. So let me open any test what we have done previously. Let's say controllers we have. I'll simply pick any cookie manager. Okay, this is our test. We ran this from Jmeter earlier, so cookie manager.jmx, right? Now let's run this test by closing this Jmeter. Okay, here is my test cookie manager.jmx. So make sure you move that test into bin directory, or you can put it anywhere. Simply pass the path where exactly your test is lying. Okay, so in my case it's already in bin folder, and my path is also to the bin. That's why I can simply pass the test case name instead of giving the path where exactly my test is lying. Cookie manager.jmx. So if you give like this, you have to give one tab called -t, which stands for test plan. When you say N, it will run in non-GUI mode, and when you say T, Jmeter will recognize that whatever text you pass after this T is a test case name. Okay, you can say T as a test case or T as test plan, but in Jmeter terminology T stands for test plan, and the test plan name which you want to run. Okay, don't confuse that. This command prompt we use only to run your Jmeter test, but not for creating. For creating, obviously you have to do that in Jmeter by adding cookie managers, samplers, thread groups, everything. So once you create test, save it and close the Jmeter. To run the test again, you need not use Jmeter. That's what I am saying. Okay, so with this command, this test will trigger, okay, and it will run as per your configuration you provide in thread group. If you ask to run for 10 users, it just does the same thing of what you generally do when you run from Jmeter tool. This command also does the same operation without opening the tool. Okay, but think here we also need a result, right? So right now this is running your test, but at the end you have to see the results of how these tests are behaving, are they passed or not, on what is the number of bytes it returned, everything, right? So all these, to get all these results, we need to add one more parameter to this command before you hit this. Okay, so in our next lecture I'll show what is that another argument which you need to add to this existing command, so that you will also see the result after you run your test through this non-GUI mode. Okay, thank you.